the weightiest of burdens. Of the uncounted trillions that constitute the multitudes of humanity, only those marked out by the grace of the Emperor himself are judged worthy. The common man rarely achieves more than he is born into, yet an Inquisitor rises far above the circumstance of their birth, being singled out amongst billions for a fate few can ever dream of. Inquisitors enjoy one of the most privileged of stations in the entire human-settled galaxy, yet they are far from a master of their own fate. Their life is instead bound up in duty and responsibility. For many, the station is a curse, a cross to bear for the sake of the Emperor and the very future of humanity. In fact, there are those within Yordos Calixis of the Calixis sector, for example, willing to sacrifice their eternal souls for the sake of all mankind, such as the Ablationists, who give themselves unto chaos that they might become a weapon against it. For many Inquisitors, life is a series of terrible revelations, as more and more horrifying truths are uncovered. Upon their ascension from service as an interrogator, to their mentor, to the rank and responsibilities of a full Inquisitor, the individual may well discover that all they thought they knew was, in fact, a lie. Although the shock of such a revelation is great, the individual would not have been chosen to bear the seal of the Inquisition had they not been judged able to withstand it by their superiors. Even more shockingly, this state of affairs is likely to continue throughout an Inquisitor's career, so that one after another supposedly fundamental truths are proved false. Many do eventually go mad, unable to sustain the relentless assault upon their very sanity. These must be hunted down by their peers, lest they turn renegade and seek to destroy everything for which the Inquisition stands. Despite the fact that all Inquisitors share the same mission and bear the same burden, they are as varied in demeanor, character, and appearance as the worlds from which they are drawn. Some are aesthetic and withdrawn, disdaining comfort as an example to their underlings and foes of the sacrifices made by the Emperor for the sake of humanity. Others attire themselves in regal finery, the better to cow and impress those they move amongst. Some are outwardly pious, while others might appear irreligious to the ignorant. Some are militaristic, while others move silently in the shadows or conduct investigations from light years away. I will now name some examples of the many and varied personality types to be found amongst the ranks of the Inquisition. First we have the militant. There are those who bear the inquisitorial rosette who believe above all else that the only way to combat the enemies of the Imperium is to burn, blast, and scour them all, wherever they may be found. Such individuals frequently extend their opinion to the wider populace, such that an entire city might be blasted from orbit simply to eradicate a mutant enclave sheltering in its sewers, or an entire orbital K should be sent plummeting to the Earth because a dozen voidsmen shared the same portentous nightmare. Militant Inquisitors tend to shoot first and ask questions later. Many do the shooting themselves, being as adept with blade and bolter as any veteran Imperial Guardsman. Militant Inquisitors tend to employ cadres of men and women with a similar demeanor, commonly packing as much firepower as a Space Marine Devastator squad. They may have built up large cadres of Imperial Guardsmen, retaining their services for life as a permanent unit, often with its own uniform. These Inquisitors lead assaults on enemy strongholds from the very front, glorying in the act of slaughtering the Emperor's foes, and equip themselves with the very finest of artificer-crafted weapons, armor and other equipment. Many acquire war gear of ancient and well-established pedigree, while some employ weapons of unique, unknown, or even xenos manufacture. Conversely, some Inquisitors of a militant mindset are akin to Lords General, studying strategic maps or poring over logistical inventories. They take command of friendly Imperial forces, supervising missions from afar through Vox-Link and Guncam. They time their assaults with lethal precision and order the deployment of their weapons, whether Death Cult Assassin or Orbital Bombardment, as an extension of their own body. Some of these Inquisitors attain the highest of ranks, eventually leading not just small cadres of warrior agents, but entire armies, even Imperial crusades. The line between General and Inquisitor may become blurred, for a time at least. Of course, it may come to pass that such an individual's erstwhile peers come to resent or disapprove of their position, and an entirely new conflict is initiated. Next we have the Investigator. An Inquisitor must have a mind as keen as a power stiletto, and a heart as cold as the death cultist who wields it. For many, it is in the tracking down of their foe, the sifting of evidence, and the uncovering of long-dormant secrets that their calling finds its true expression. These are the Arch-Investigators, individuals who can smell a dirty secret from half a sector away. From the scantest of clues, they have the uncanny ability to hunt down the culpable and bring the criminal to justice. Inquisitors of an investigative nature surround themselves with sages and adepts. They often employ a vast network of specialists from across the many organizations of the Imperium as acolytes, and are gifted with the ability to draw upon the unique skills of all those in their employ, bringing together the disparate strands of an investigation and acting upon the truth as it is revealed. The appearance of such an Inquisitor is often a portent of a ruthlessly thorough process, and strikes such fear into the hearts of the guilty that they often flee, revealing their guilt even before an accusation is made. The investigative Inquisitor may also rely on a number of guards, often crusaders, for they may eschew the martial skills displayed by others of their kind. Nonetheless, even the most stooped and aged of Inquisitors have a few tricks up their sleeves, save for the moment they must deliver the harsh judgment of the Inquisition in person, their foe at bay with nowhere to flee.